Words of advice from Ed Tate. Now, on Friday before the district conference, I had a workshop with some others were there as well. And these are some of the things that I learned about storytelling that I want to impart to you, to all of us, to learn from the best. So please, first slide.
Yes, ma'am.
The first thing he asks is, why do some ideas die? Some ideas die because they're simply not memorable. But what is memorable? A story. A story is 3 times as memorable as a fact. How many times more?
3 times.
I can't hear you.
3 times.
All right, very good. Okay, so please, the next slide. So listen up, technical people specifically, because he said people like me, I'm a technical person, are usually the worst at this. Okay, so this is what you have to listen up to. For every technical concept, you need at least 3 illustrations of that concept for your listeners. Data, numbers are not memorable. Yeah? Stories are memorable. Insights are memorable. Technical people turn people into numbers. Storytellers must turn numbers back into people. Now, and I was thinking of you, Amy, when he said that, because that's something that I think that you're very good at in your everyday job. So let's go to the next. Every story must address the following. So what? Who cares? What's in it for me? And what's the take-home message? So say it with me. So what?
So what?
Who cares? What's in it for me? What's the takeaway message? Okay, good. Next slide. So there's two ways to connect to an audience. You can do it intellectually, or you can do it emotionally. If you don't want anybody to remember anything, do it all intellectually. Right? And if some of you feel like you really didn't make an impression on the audience, that's probably the area that you need to work on. So next slide. And let's look at why this is the case. So now these are his components to what makes the best storytelling. And there's 5 parts. There's head, heart, humor, delivery, and call to action. So the head is, what is the insight in the story or anecdote that you're going to tell? Heart is, what is the audience going to feel? Humor is, what's a funny anecdote and so forth that will help the audience connect to you? The delivery, this was very important, I thought it was interesting. He said, relive the event. Do not retell the event, because that draws the people in. And then a call to action, what's the main point? Now, if you look at that, let's say we're dividing things up into 5. 3 out of that 5 are emotional. Let me say it again. 3 out of 5, emotional. Only 1 out of 5 there is intellectual, and the other one is an action. Okay? So that's the ratio, folks, of making a great story. So now, what I'd like you to do is think about some homework. And we had to do this in 90 seconds. Okay? So you can do this, later on as you're developing your speeches in the future. So you put down your event or your topic that you'd like to speak about. Jot down some notes about how it's relatable to the audience. Add a funny anecdote. Add some good dialogue. And then take away message. The good dialogue helps people really understand that reliving the event rather than the retelling the event. And then jot down here some ideas about, okay, what's that going to be? And maybe a few lines here or there that kind of starts to build out the story. Yeah? So I'm going to show you what I did, what I was managed to put together in 90 seconds. It's an anecdote that I've been kind of working on lately. So here's my example. So let's say I want to talk about dating and right? Yeah.
The knickers is changing.
So I wrote down, well, every once in a while I get up enough courage to dip my toe into the roiling maelstrom of online dating. Okay, so that's like kind of the opener. How is it relatable? Anybody tried online dating? Okay, just regular dating? Okay, just spending time with human beings. Okay? Perhaps you're like me and you have some key dating criteria. Somebody nice, creative, maybe they have a job. They actually show up for the date. That'd be nice. And then blah, blah, blah. So I accepted a date with a puppeteer. Okay? So what's the funny anecdote? Well, it took me to a restaurant, but we couldn't get to a table at first, so we had to pull a few strings. All right, and then some good dialogue. So during dinner, he expressed all the reason he was angry at his ex-wife. I can't believe that she's still living. As soon as I moved out, she started living with this biker in the house that I bought. I bought that house. I'm like, and then my inside voice said, oh my God, I gotta be charging this guy $150 an hour to sit here and listen to this. So unresolved issues. So what's the takeaway message? Well, it's a numbers game and keep playing for all of us. Or in other words, someday I'll find it, like all of us, the emotional connection, the lovers, the dreamers, even me. So take that, and I hope that this helps you get some tips and ideas for your next story.